What? We ready for this shit? We gonna stand around all fucking day? What we doing? You ready? Alright, I'm ready. Alright, my name is Benny Caldone. C-A-L-D-O-N-E. Caldone. Some of you might call it Caldone. Some of you might call it Caldodini. Whatever the fuck makes you sleep at night. Alright, cocksuckers? Alright, so this story happened back in the day when I was living on 88th Street, New York City. Alright, some shitbag apartment. I had nothing. I had a fucking $200 a day coke habit. And I'm just lost, right? And now, this is back in the day when they just had house phones, alright? Now you guys got all these fucking cell phones and gadgets and iPads and iFlies and all this kind of shit. Well, back then, you just had a fucking house phone. Now, with the house phone, you'd always get these telemarketers, huh? Some things never change. And they'd call up, right? You ever get these calls? And they're like, hey, you won two free tickets to the Bermuda Triangle for your loved one. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Why am I so lucky, huh? Go fuck your mother. And days on, this shit would happen every few weeks, every few days. You know, sometimes you get them in the mail. It's always this bullshit, right? Win this free, get this, collect your points, slay the dragon, whatever the fuck. And I'm like, yeah, right, quit calling me, right? Now, this happens to be one day they catch me on a bad fucking day, alright? I'm out of coke, I'm all fucked up, I'm drinking coffee left and right, trying to get a high. It's hot as fuck, it's like June something. And this fuck thinks it's gonna be a fun day to call Mr. Caldone. Bad news on him. So he just happened to catch me. He calls me up and I'm like, yeah, what do you want? And he's like, hey, my name's Jimmy, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, what do you want? And he's like, look, you want 2 free tickets on this Carnival cruise. It's like 2 weeks, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah. Why am I so lucky, man? What's going on? And I just open up to the guy. I'm like, look, you guys been calling me. This is bullshit. I know it's a scam, blah, 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 blah. I give him a whole fucking ear beating. And he's like, no. He's like, this is not fake. He's like, I know people call you all the time, and they're always saying, like, this and that, and I know. He's like, sometimes it is fake. Sometimes it really is true. And I'm like, well, how does it work? And he's like, it's just a random number selection. And we don't give them out all the time. You know, we call like 10 numbers randomly. You happen to be on the fucking list. Congratulations, Mr. Caldone. All right. He's like, look. After like 20 minutes talking to this guy, he's like, look, you don't believe me? Do me a favor, all right? And he's like, look, go down 44th Street, all right? There's a travel agency there. Go pick up your tickets, tell them your name. And while you're there, there's a nice meatball sub sandwich down the store, down the way there. Go get yourself a nice sandwich, huh? I'm like, hey, this guy's pretty good. This guy's all right. So I decided to do it because I'm a half a fucking joke. And so I go down there and I'm like, all right, 44th Street, there it is. Where is it at? I look down, there it is, travel agency. Boom, right there. I'm like, holy shit. And there's the meat shop right there, the sandwiches. Alright, get me a sandwich, I'm eating. Get me a nice little Coke. I'm drinking it. And I finish up the sandwich, wipe my mouth, boom, and now I'm down on 44th and I'm going down there and I go to the travel agency and I say, hey, what's going on up here? And he's like, how can I help you? And I say, look, this guy called me. He's like, yeah, you got free tickets? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, here you go. Slips an envelope right over across the table. And I'm like, holy shit, this thing's real. Open it up. Sure enough, there it is. The date, time, arrival, ending, all that shit right there. Holy fuck. So I leave, hop back up on the subway, back up to my apartment where the cockroaches are, and all my shit is. My whole fucking wasteful life there in this little box. And I start doing some calls. I'm like, is this true? What's going on? They're like, yeah, go down to the fucking pier. So around June 15th, 16th, what the fuck it is, I go down to the fucking port down there, harbor, and sure enough, there's a big fucking Carnival cruise there. I asked them, the workers, I say, hey, what the fuck's this big cruise ship doing? He's like, well, it's leaving on the 28th. Inside the tickets says 28th, leaving, port, J, 16th, G, right there. Holy fuck. This is even more real than I thought it was. Holy fuck. I just can't believe it. My fucking mind's blown. So I'm like, alright, so I go home where the cockroaches are, and I pack a fucking bag, and I'm like, alright, I pack a couple of necessities, nothing crazy, toothbrush. And I get down, like June 28th, 8 o'clock a.m., right there, I'm standing in line with a bunch of fucking retards, and we're all standing in the beautiful most part of the day, and we're waiting in line for a goddamn cruise ship. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, alright, this is all real up until now, but once I get to that lady, right, she's going to be like, this is fake, you got scammed, I'm sorry, have a nice day. And I'm going to go back to my apartment where my shit life is and the cockroaches are. And I get there, and sure enough, she's like, how you doing, Mr. Caldone? Here you go. I'm like, awesome, cool. She's, welcome. Holy fuck, buffet's open until 12 a.m. Opens up at 6. Enjoy all you can eat. Yeah, there's also a shop, you know, all that kind of stuff in there. Holy fuck, I get into the room's beautiful. But there's 2 tickets. So she's like, well, wait though. And I'm like, here it is. And she's like, now where's your other partner? This is Nolan Voice. No one's coming. My girlfriend, she left me a few weeks. She died, drove over a fucking cliff. Very unfortunate. And she's like, what? Nothing. Just joking with you. She's like, all right, well, I'm gonna rip to this ticket because you can't have anybody with you. I go, boom. There you go. I get this room suite. Beautiful. Just gorgeous. It was caviar and crab cakes and all that kind of shit, right? Now the beer, the bar, sometimes it was you had to pay. Sometimes it was free. And there were certain bingo nights and shit, you get stuff. There was stand-up comedy and entertainment and all that kind of stuff. So it was really great. We went down to the fucking coast, the Gulf, Florida, you know what I mean? Go down there, do a couple of turns, alley loops, zigs and zags. We go back up. 2 weeks I spent on this fucking Carnival cruise. Fucking beautiful. I get off. I'm suntan, I'm glistening. I go down to my apartment where the cockroaches are, and I start handing out fucking rent checks, because the rent's due, motherfuckers. You're gonna live here with me, you gotta pay rent. So I'm like, holy shit. I sit down, I'm exhausted, and I'm like, holy fuck. What do you know? And I look at my messages, not from anybody, but the more messages I had were about telemarketers saying more shit that I'd won. So I cashed it in. I've done this 8 fucking times, people, I tell you. So the next time you think about those telemarketers and they're bothering you, think about it. Alright? You might get some free shit out of it. Thank you very much. My name's Devin Caldone. Enjoy the rest of your day, motherfuckers.